Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the fuck. Welcome to the most offensive church this side of the universe, the Porgy Pin. Imagine there's clapping because I still didn't hook up my soundboard. No, I didn't. But it's time to light them if you got them right and go and join Jesus spaceship, which we are about to do right now. We are about to jump into Jesus spaceship wherever it's at. What the hell? Right here we go. Yeah. So we're going to run to it and we're going to hop in. And then we're going to go to the book of Kings, the story of Ahab and Jehoshaphat. So come on in. Now we're going to do this. Yeah. No. What the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? Demo. No. It's not the right one. What the hell is happening? There we go. Yeah. Now we are doing the damn thing. But this shouldn't be the damn thing. This should be the damn thing. Okay. Now, let's get into the book of Kings. Okay. Okay. So we are on chapter 20. Okay. Okay. So, chapter 20. Now, Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his forces together. 32 kings were with him, with horses and chariots, and he went up and besieged Samaria and made war against it. Then he sent messengers to Ahab, the king of Israel. Ahab and said to him, "Your silver and your gold are mine. Your loveliest wife and children are mine." What a dickhead. Your And the king of Israel answered and said, "Okay, that's fine." Then the messengers came back and said, "Indeed, I have sent to you, saying, 'Deliver to me your silver and your gold, all of that. I will send my servants with you tomorrow about this time, and they will search your house and the houses of your servant, and it shall be whatever is pleasant in my eyes. I will put, whatever's pleasant in your eyes, they will put it in their hands and take it." So the king of Israel called all the leaders of these terrible ass people and said, "Please see how this man seeks trouble because he wants all my stuff. And I told him he could have it." And all these terrible ass people said, "Are you kidding me?" The answer is no, you cannot do that. Okay? So just so you know, you cannot do that. And the messengers departed and brought back word. Then Ben-Hadad said, "The gods do to me and more, if enough dust is left of Samaria for a handful of each of the people who follow me." Dun dun dun. So Ahab answered and said, "Tell him, let not one who puts on his armor boast like the one who takes it off." And it happened when Ben-Hadad heard this, as he and the kings were drinking at the command post, that he said, "Get ready. You got to attack the city." Suddenly, a prophet approached Ahab, saying, "Have you seen this great multitude? I will deliver it into your hand, and you shall know who the fuck I am. By the young leaders of the provinces, y'all gonna find out who I am." Then he said, "Who will set the battle in order?" And God was like, "You." Then he mustered the young leaders of the provinces, and there were 232. And after them, he mustered all the people together. It was 7,000. So they went out at noon. Meanwhile, Ben-Hadad had 32 kings helping him, and they were getting drunk at the command post. The young leaders of the province went out first, and Ben-Hadad sent out a patrol, and they told him that they're coming out of Samaria. And he said, if they had come out for peace, take them alive. And if they have come out for war, take them alive. Then the young leaders of the province went out of the city with the army that followed them. Each one killed his man. So the Syrians fled, and Israel pursued. Then Ben-Hadad escapade on a horse with the cavalry. Then Ahab went out and attacked the horses and chariots and killed the Syrians with a great slaughter. And the prophet came to Ahab and said, "Go strengthen yourself. Take note and see what you should do. For in the spring of the year, the king of Syria will be back and he will fight you." Yeah. Then the servants of the king of Syria said, "Their gods are gods of the hills. Therefore, they were stronger than us. But if we fight in the plain, surely we will be stronger than they. So do this thing: dismiss the kings from their position, and put captains in their places, and you shall muster an army like the army that you have lost, horse for horse, and chariot for chariot. Then we will fight against them in the plain. Surely we will be stronger than they." And he listened to their voice and did so. Dun, dun, dun. So it was in the spring of the year that Benhadad mustered the Syrians and went up to Aphek to fight against Israel. And the children, these terrible ass people, were mustered and given provisions, and they went against them. Now these terrible ass people encamped before them like two little flocks of goats, while the Syrians filled the countryside. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. And hold on. They came out like goats. Syrians. Okay. Then a man of God came and spoke to Ahab and said, "Because the Syrians have called me a hill god, but he is the not, wait, because they have said, the Lord is the Lord of the hills and not the valley, I will deliver this great multitude in your hands, and you will know the fuck I is." And they encamped opposite of each other for 7 days. So it was on the seventh day that the battle was joined. And these terrible ass people killed 100,000 foot soldiers in one day, but the rest fled to Aphek into the city. Then a wall fell on 27,000 of the men who were left. I'm not going to be able to get through this. And Benhadad fled and went to the city into an inner chamber. Then his servants said, "Look now, we have heard that these people are merciful. Please, let us put on the t-shirt diaper thing and ropes around our heads and go." and go to the king of, go to Ahab and talk to him. Perhaps he will spare you. So they did that and said, your servant Ben-Hadad said, please let me live. And Ahab was like, is he still alive? And they were like, yeah. And Ahab was like, well, that's my brother. I didn't know they were brothers, but apparently they're brothers. Weird. Now, the men were watching closely to see whether any sign of mercy would come from him. And they quickly grasped at his word and said, your brother Ben-Hadad? And Ahab was like, go get him. Then Ben-Hadad came out and Ahab had him come into the chariot. And Ben-Hadad said, the cities which my father took from your father, I will restore, and you may set up marketplaces in Damascus, as my father did in Samaria. Then Ahab said, I will send you away with this treaty. So he made a treaty with him and sent him on his way. His enemy that tried to kill him. Now a certain man of the sons of the prophet said to his neighbor, by the word of the Lord, strike me. But the man refused. Then he said, because you have not obeyed the voice of the Lord, surely as soon as you depart from me, a lion shall kill you. And as soon as he left him, a lion found him and killed him. Crazy. And he found another man and said, strike me. So the man struck him, inflicting a wound. Then the prophet departed and waited for the king by the road, and disguised himself with a bandage. Now, as the king passed by, he cried out and said, your servant went to the midst of a battle, and there a man came over and brought a man to me and said, guard this man, if by any means he is missing your life for his life, or else you pay a talent of silver. While your servant was busy here and there, he was gone. Then Ahab said, so shall your judgment be. You yourself have decided it. And he hastened to take the bandage away, and Ahab recognized him as a prophet. Then he said, here comes thus says the Lord, because you have let slip out of your hand a man whom I appointed to utter destruction. Therefore, your life for his life, and your people for his people. Hey, Robert, how are you? Oh, sorry for coughing in your ear. I don't think there is anybody here right now. They probably won't be here until the second chapter or I'm done because I took my medicine early. Your life for his life, your people. So Ahab went to his house, sullen and displeased, and came to Samaria. Okay. Oh. Oh my God, that's kind of long. This is really kind of long. I don't know what to do because I'm kind of tired. But Dustin doesn't leave work for like another half hour. And my house is still making noises. See what I'm saying? My house is making noises. I'm afraid to look and see what that was. Did I lock my door? I don't even know. And Dustin hasn't even left work yet. I think he leaves work. Well, I think he leaves work at 10:30 and he gets home at 11. Yeah. See, there's all kinds of noises. Yeah, there's all kinds of noises. I remember this story. Okay. I know what story this is. Okay. Chapter 21. Wait. Didn't I have a joint? Maybe. This one header is like my new favorite thing. My cousin got it for me. And she said she's supposed to be sending me an Easter basket with all kinds of goodies in it. Hopefully, she sends me more of that jelly shit. What is it? Peach jalapeno preservative or something? I don't know, but it's really good. It's real fucking sweet, though. Okay. Okay. It came to pass there was this dude named Naboth who had this really pretty vineyard next to the castle. Ahab wanted it, but the guy told him no. So then Ahab was all like butt sore and stuff. And Jezebel came to him and was like, what is wrong? Right. And he was like, this vineyard, I want it. And she was like, uh, you could just take it. And he's like, no, I can't. So then she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal. And and the letters went to the elders and the nobles who were dwelling in the city. And she wrote letters that said, proclaim, fast, and seat Naboth with a high honor among the people, and seat 2 scoundrels before him to bear witness against him, saying he blasphemed God and the king. Then take him out and stone him that he may die. So she's like, go kill this guy because he's an asshole. Right? So they did this. And then they sent to Jezebel saying, Naboth is stoned and dead. And it came to pass when Jezebel heard that Jezebel said to Ahab, go ahead and take it because he's in trouble or he's dead. So it was when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead that Ahab went up and took possession of the vineyard of Naboth. Then the word of the Lord came to Elijah and said, go meet Ahab, who lives in Samaria. There he is in the vineyard, where he has gone down to take possession of it. Tell him that I said, you murdered and also took possession. And tell him, in the place where dogs licked up the blood of Naboth, dogs will lick your blood. Yep, even yours. And then Ahab said to Elijah, have you found me, O my enemy? And he answered and said, yes, because you have sold yourself to evil in the sight of the Lord. I will bring calamity on you. I will take away your prosperity, and I will cut off from you every male, both bond and free. I will make your house like Jeroboam and Baasha, because of the provocation which you have provoked me to anger. And concerning Jezebel, the Lord has spoken. The dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. The dogs will eat whoever belongs to Ahab and dies in the city. Look, animals are going to eat y'all, and it's going to be some shit. Okay? So there was no one like Ahab who sold himself to wickedness because of Jezebel, his wife, stirred him up, and he behaved abominably and following idols, according to all the Amorites had done, whom the Lord had cast out before these terrible ass people. So it was when Ahab heard those words that he got naked and put on the t-shirt diaper thing and fasted and laid in it until and went about mourning, like being sad and stuff. And the word of the Lord came back to Elijah, saying, see how Ahab has humbled himself before me. Because he has humbled himself, I will not bring calamity in his days, but in the days of his son, I will bring calamity on his house. Wow. So the son does pay for the sins of the father. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow we're going to get into the best part of this. There's not a lot of this, the last chapter. Okay. Well, this is the last chapter. And we're getting to the good part. And there hasn't been a lot of minutes that have passed. It's been like a little over 30 minutes. Damn. And I'm so tired because I took my medicine. I'm going to have to take it later, I think. I don't know. All right. Let's finish this book off, shall we? Now, 3 years passed without war between Syria and Israel. Then it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went to visit Ahab. And Ahab said to his servants, do you know that Ramoth and Gilead is ours, but we hesitate to take it out of the hand of Syria? I thought he gave all this to you already. So he said to Jehoshaphat, will you go with me to fight Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said, I am as you are, my people as your people, my horses as your horses. And then Jehoshaphat said, inquire of the word of the Lord today. Then Ahab gathered the prophets. There was 400, and said to them, shall I go against Ramoth Gilead? And they said, yes, yes. And Jehoshaphat said, no, isn't there another prophet? And Ahab said, there is still one man, Micaiah, by whom we may inquire. But I hate him because he does not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. Yeah, but what about Elijah? But he said, now Micaiah is always talking shit. But he calls Elijah his enemy all the time. Or is this after Elijah dies? I don't remember. Oh, but he could have been the other prophet who was like blind, pretending to be blind. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say such things. Then Ahab called an officer and said, go bring Micaiah quickly. And the king of Israel, or Ahab and Jehoshaphat, having put on their robes, sat each on his throne at a threshing floor at the entrance of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets prophesied before them. Zedekiah had made horns of iron for himself and said, with these you shall gore the Syrians until they are destroyed. And all the prophets prophesied, saying, go ahead, go. Then the messenger who had gone to Micaiah spoke to him, saying, tell the king something good. And Micaiah's like, I'll tell the king whatever God said, because God said it. And I don't know if you ever met that guy, but I'm not. I'm not fucking with him. Nope. And I skipped a part in this Bible. Because there's a. Oh. No, there is a part. It should be in this story where God asks the angels, like who has an idea and who wants to do this thing. And one of them chose, and it might have been Satan. But according to that Ethiopian Bible, it kind of happened before the flood. So I don't know. Okay. Okay. Then Micaiah came to Ahab, and Ahab was like, do we go against Gilead? And Micaiah answered and said, yeah, why not? Go ahead. Okay. And Micaiah was like, go and prosper, because the Lord will deliver it to the king. And then Ahab was like, how many times Shall I make you swear that you tell me nothing but the truth? So Ahab must have been saying this like so sarcastically. And Ahab's like, are you fucking kidding me? Listen. And Micah was like, I saw Israel scattered on the mountain as a sheep that have no shepherd. And the Lord said, these have no master. Let each return to his house in peace. And Ahab said to Jehoshaphat, didn't I tell you he doesn't ever say nothing nice? And then Micaiah said, look, here's what God said. I saw him sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing on his right and his left. Oh, yeah, okay. So all the angels were on his left and right. And then he said, who will persuade Ahab to go up that he may fall at Gilead? So one spoke in this manner, and another and another in that manner. Then a spirit came forward and stood before the Lord and said, I can do it. I can make everyone tell him to go up, right? I can make, and I can make him go up to Ramah, no problem. Okay. The Lord has proclaimed disaster against you. Now, Zedekiah went near and smacked Micaiah in the face. It was like a bitch slap from hell. And said, which way did the Spirit of the Lord go from me to speak to you? Yeah, how can God talk to us both at the same time? And Micaiah said, indeed, you shall see on the day when you go into an inner chamber to hide. So Ahab said, take Micaiah and return him to Amon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, my son, and say, thus says the king, put this fellow in prison and feed him with the bread of affliction and water of affliction until I come in peace. And then Micah was like, you mean if you come in peace, so shut up. Hi, thank you for the cookie. Wait, I got a sticker for that. I took it from Razor Romano. Yeah, no problem, and blessings to you too. Um, I don't know if you smoke weed or not, but smoke them if you got them. We're almost done with this book. Literally, like a page and a half left. Okay. Yeah, but Micaiah was like, If you come back in peace, asshole. Yeah, screw you. So, Ahab and Jehoshaphat went to Ramoth Gilead, and Ahab said to Jehoshaphat, "We need to switch clothes." Right. I need to disguise myself, but you still look like a king. It'll be okay. So Ahab disguised himself and went into battle. Now, the king of Syria had commanded the 32 captains, saying, "Fight with no one small or great, but only with Ahab." So it was when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat that they were like, "It's definitely King Ahab, so let's go get him." And they rolled up on him like 7 deep, and Jehoshaphat pissed his pants. And they were like, "This is not Ahab. This is crazy. What are you doing?" And then Ahab was running off in a chariot, and this guy with an arrow shot Ahab in the side and said, uh, "Okay, turn around and take me out of the battle, for I am wounded." The battle increased that day, and the king was propped up in his chariot facing the Syrians and died at evening, and the blood ran out from the wound onto the floor of the chariot. Then, as the sun was going down, a shout throughout the army saying, "Every man to his city and to his country." So the king died and was brought to Samaria, and they buried him there. Then someone washed out the chariot at, at a pool in Samaria, and the dogs licked up his blood while the chariot was bathed, according to the word of the Lord. Now, everything else about Ahab and the ivory house that he built and all the cities and everything, they're written in the Chronicles of Israel. And Ahab rested with his father. Then Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his place. Now Jehoshaphat, the son of Asa, became king of Judah. In the 4th year of Ahab, Jehoshaphat was 35 when he became king, and he reigned 25 years in Judah. His mother's name doesn't matter. And he walked in all the ways of Asa. He did not turn aside from them, doing what was right in the sight of the Lord. Nevertheless, the high places were not taken away, and the people offered sacrifices and burnt incense on the high places. Also, Jehoshaphat made peace with Ahab, and everything else that Jehoshaphat did are written in Chronicles. And the rest of the perverted persons who remained in the days of his father Asa, he banished from the land. There was no king in Edom, only a deputy of the king. I'm on the wrong page. Okay. Josaphat made merchant ships go to Ophir for gold, but they never sailed, for the ships were wrecked at Isaiah Geber. Then Isaiah said to, the son of Ahab, said to Josaphat, "Let my servants go with your servants in the ship." But Josaphat was like, "Nope." And then Josaphat rested with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. Then Joram, his son, reigned in his place. And Ahaziah, the son of Ahab, became king in Samaria in the 17th year of Josaphat, and reigned 2 years. And he was evil as hell, and he walked in the way of Ahab and Jeroboam, for he served Baal and worshipped him, and provoked. He fucked around and is about to find out. Yep, he fucked around and is about to find out. Okay, that's the end of that book. We go to Second Kings tomorrow. How amazing is that? It's pretty fucking amazing. Ooh, let's find out where Dustin is, shall we? Okay, let's find out. Because it's almost 11 o'clock. And maybe I should unlock the door. He's not even left work yet. Oh, he is off work, but he's not even close to here. Oh my god. I thought he would be closer by now. It's crazy. Damn, he's not even close. Man, so what do I do? Oh my god, I don't even know. I want to go to sleep, but I can't go to sleep because I'm scared. Man. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll watch some wrestling or something. Maybe watch wrestling. Yeah. Damn. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know. Nobody's here. Well, I don't know. Let's find a Alright. Damn. We're here in the garden is talking about Trump. I don't know. I guess we can go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all for watching. I love you. Have the greatest night ever because I appreciate you and I love you so much. I am hitting end now. Maybe. I think so. But good night, Pilled. Good night, YouTube. Good night, Facebook. I love you guys so much. Wait, I think I forgot something. It's time to give the pillows some head, the sheets some ass, and have the sweetest dreams ever. I love you guys so much. Goodbye.